Hi everybody, and welcome to lesson 1 of unit 6.2 in financial algebra. This is our 7th video lesson. Day 2 will be our 8th. Remember, you can stop the video at any time, rewind at any time, or even fast forward if you know all that stuff. You don't need to listen to me say it. Let's take a look at this warm-up. Frank got a new job through the Valley Employment Service, and the job pays $51,000 per year. And the agency fee is equal to 35% of 1 month's pay. How much must Frank pay the agency? So we should know by now, hopefully, that $51,000 means 51 times 1,000, which, of course, is $51,000. How many months in a year are there? There are 12. And if you divide 51 by 12, you get $4,250. To figure out what 35% is of that, we have to take that 35% and turn it into a decimal, which means we're doing 35 divided by 100, or we're going to remember that how I write 35 cents, which is 0.35, and then I multiply that by 1 month's pay, 4250.00. And that equals $1,487.50. It's a lot of money, but I guess it's worth it if you get a job. All right, let's go back to our last notes page. That would have been Thursday, Friday of last week, October 8th and 9th. That was day 2 of looking for employment, and write a question in the left-hand column. Here is a question that I put down. You're welcome to use this one if you like. How do I turn a K into a number? The answer is I take the number and preceding the K and multiply it by 1,000. Once you get that question, or one of your own choice down, circle 24, and hopefully your 10 is already circled. You can stop this video at any time. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not going to wait for you to write, so stop, write down your stuff, and then proceed. Okay, title your next page as follows: October 13th, 14th, 2020, 6.2, pay periods and hourly rates, day 1. Name 3 activities that you enjoy that could become a job or career, and write these in your interactive notebook. You're thinking, like, what are you talking about? Well, do you like to garden? Right? If you do, there's all kinds of jobs associated with the horticultural industry here in Oregon, beyond, like farming, which is what comes to people's mind first of all. There's just a ton of jobs. Do you like to cook? Well, chefs are in high demand. Something like that. You can stop the video, write that stuff down, and start again when you're ready to continue. All right, get your books and your calculators. If you don't have a calculator, go to desmos.com and bring up the scientific calculator. I want you to read the first paragraph on page 296 through example 2. So you're reading pages 296 through 297. Here's the important thing. I want you to write down this vocabulary: biweekly, semi-monthly, hourly rate, gross pay, time and a half overtime, and direct deposit. We need to know these things to get through the week. The math is not hard, but if you don't know what we're talking about and we ask you to do it, well, you can't do it, can you? So, I am following this slide with slides of the reading that is required. You can obviously stop the video and read the entire slide. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time, just a few seconds on each slide. And these words, they're defined in the pages: biweekly, semi-monthly, hourly rate, gross pay, time and a half, overtime, and direct deposit. They were also available in the glossary of the PDF of the book that I sent you. Here is page 1 of our reading. What do you need to know to make sure each paycheck is correct? Look at this. Definition of biweekly. It's a paycheck every 2 weeks. Write that down. Semi-monthly. There are 12 months in a year, so they get 24 paychecks in a year. They get one twice a month. Direct deposit. This means your paycheck just goes right into your bank account. You don't get a check that you take to the bank. Many people work for a defined hourly rate. Their hours are determined, they are paid at that rate. There's a distinction in hours for most employees. You get regular hours, which can range from 35 to 40, and then you have overtime hours. Often, overtime hourly rate is greater than your standard regular rate. Usually, or often anyway, it is 1.5 times the regular hourly rate. That's called time and a half. Let's say you make $10 an hour, which is of course below minimum wage, but let's just say, because it's easy to multiply, 10 times 1.5 is $15 an hour. That would be the overtime rate. Get paid $10 an hour for the first 40 hours a week, and then $15 an hour for every hour over that. That is called time and a half. That is the hourly pay multiplied by 1.5. Your total pay, that's your hourly pay and your overtime pay, is your gross pay. It's also the pay before taxes. Here is a copy of example 1, which we're going to talk about. So you don't necessarily need to read it this way, but I include it for the sake of being thorough. Example 1 says, Christina is paid bi-weekly. That means every 2 weeks. Her annual salary is $37,000. What is her bi-weekly salary, rounded to the nearest cent? Well, we take her annual salary, which we know, they've told us, is $37,000. And we have to know that there are 26, let me write it down here, 26 pay periods if you're bi-weekly. Sorry. So we just have to divide by 26 to get what their bi-weekly pay would be. And 37,000 divided by 26 is $1,423.08. That's supposed to be an 8. Doesn't look much like one, does it? Get that down in your journal, and we will go to the next page. Remember, you can stop this video anytime. Here is example 2. Manny is paid semi-monthly. His semi-monthly salary is $1,239. What is his annual salary? Semi-monthly means twice a month, so there are 24, that is 12 times 2, pay periods for semi-monthly salary. Don't know if I helped with that ugly writing, but now you know why I'm not picky about what your journals look like. So we just take this number, $1,239, and we multiply it times 24. That's 12 times 2. Getting paid twice a month. So if you do that, you get $29,736, which, to be honest with you, is not a lot of money. You have to remember that this book was written about 10 years ago. Get that down in your journals, and we will go on to the next slide. If you're watching at home, stop and then go on to your next slide. Here's example 3, which is on page 298 of your text. Maureen works at a local Chicken King restaurant, and her regular hourly wage is $9.70. If she works 40 hours per week. What is a regular weekly pay? So we just do 40 times 9.7. What does that equal? It equals 388. Excuse me, I shouldn't have a point there. $388. And if you're saying to me right now, you're screaming at the screen, Mr. Yates, the minimum wage is, I don't know, what is it, $12 an hour now? Or if it's not, it's pretty close. I realize that. Get that down in your journals, and we'll go on to the next page. You can stop if you're watching at home. All right. Look over your notes for today. Underline what's important, and then come back here and circle your 10 right there. Here is our assignment, the application problems 2 through 10. That's assignment number 7 in our Canvas module. Assignment number 7, the first assignment of the first lesson for the first day in section 6.2. Thanks for watching. Remember, you can always reach me via Microsoft Teams, via email, any way you like. I'm here for you. Give me a ring if you got some questions. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later.